Hello everyone, my name is Ben from StupidArtOnline, and welcome to my guide on how to start a decent gaming channel. So why would you want to learn how to do something as seemingly useless as putting on a set of headphones and turning on a screen in order to experience emotions on camera? Well, it's quite simple actually. I'm sure we've all had those times in which we were watching somebody such as
Top of the morning, you ladies!
And looked at their net worth and said to ourselves, man, I can make money off of playing video games? I want to do that too. Well, I suppose you could also just want to show off your Call of Duty quickscopes. Whatever the reason, welcome to Ben's illustrated guide on how to survive as starting a decent gaming channel with commentary and or other voice types of shows. Not the most, condensed title. So, most people I know who attempt to get into a YouTube channel at first usually think that this is a very easy thing to do, and in turn start out like this.
Hey guys, Shadow here, and we're gonna play some Minecraft.
Yeah, not very appealing, is it? So let's see how we can get you to be of higher quality than that on your first run. First of all, one of the many things that separates a decent YouTuber and a bad YouTuber is the equipment that they use. You know what I'm talking about. Microphones, cameras, closets. In fact, if you don't take this into consideration before starting, this could be the immediate downfall of your channel. For example, bad microphone quality.
Hello guys, SEO Universe here today.
So yeah, it can make quite the difference. Which is why I'm here to give you my list on what you're going to need, plus my preferences on the matter. First of all, the microphone is arguably the most important piece that you'll want to include on your list, as it is the part that allows you to capture all of those sweet, vibrating, resonating sounds while playing horror games, or just add some quality commentary to enhance the overall experience. As I said before, I will be mentioning the brands or devices I use to fulfill these requirements. So for my microphone, I use a black Blue Yeti stereo microphone, which is great because it has multiple settings for different scenarios and allows the use of a pop filter. Not that I have one. You might also want to invest in an up-to-par computer, assuming that you're doing PC gaming, of course. This could help out a lot due to the fact that most games today on platforms like Steam won't run on the old 2001 Windows XP computer. Sadly, an experience that I had to put up for many, many years. RIP Windows XP computer in cold basement. So yeah, get a Redder PC. Another thing that is a definite necessity for this is the thing that you're actually going to record on, the recording software. Now, depending on what platform you're planning on recording with, this could vary. For consoles, you're going to want a device known as a capture card, a device that plugs in from your console to your PC in order to record. If you're going for the aforementioned PC, however, you're going to want to download some recording softwares and learn from there and experiment and see which ones you like best, I suppose. Personally, for consoles, I use the Elgato Capture Card Standard Edition, which covers things like your standard PS5 and Xbox over 9000. For PC, I use
Mirrorless.
Yeah, whatever he said, but we'll just call it Action for now. Action is great on multiple occasions with its regular smooth screen capture capabilities. Finally, the last thing I'd count as mandatory for this job is the editing software. This software can mean the life or death of a video and its overall potential. None of these things will come together correctly if you do not learn and have an editing software to make everything cohesive. In fact, I'm probably editing this video right now with my personal editing software of choice, Sony Vegas Pro 14. Just in case you're a poor public school student with no allowance, I'd say just use whatever you can get your hands on for these requirements. Also games. Games are important too. Alright, so you've acquired all of your required equipment, and now you're probably like, alright, time to go make $1 million, yeah! Slow down, buckaroo. It's not going to be that easy. So, you sat down at your computer and all of your softwares are set up and working, and at this point, you're technically ready. I said technically. Since this is the first video that you're going to be producing, you're most likely not going to be the most competent or energetic person in the world. You may often find that during the recording process you may have an awkward silence or times when you create a run-on conversation with yourself. I myself actually do this a lot in my early videos. However, fear not. Over time, you should be able to overcome these tendencies via natural progression and practice. For example, when I started this channel, I started very small and was like,
How's it going, guys? StupidArtOnline here today, and today we're going to be playing a game.
However, as time went on, and I got more comfortable with the subject matter, I now talk like,
Come on, dude, it's almost morning. No, not like this. Come on, dude, just run, just run. I'm running. I got you. I got a shield. No, I got a shield. Ah!
Other than that, I'd just say, be yourself. I know it sounds pretty generic at this point, however, it can really help develop your character online, which is required if you want people to connect with you. So now that you've recorded your first video, you're ready to upload, right? No, not exactly. In fact, I'd say never really upload raw footage of a video unless it was just that amazing. What you're going to want to do from this point is to use multiple softwares to take what you had and make it even better. Yes, that's right. Now begins the process of editing. While I won't exactly teach you how to edit, I'll leave you to do that by yourself. I can throw you some ideas that you might want to keep in mind, as well as some tips to encourage you. Heads up, editing can be one of the most grueling processes that you have to undertake in this occupation. Like, for example, editing for 2 to 3 hours and barely making a dent in the footage that you've recorded, which can be discouraging at times. Some ways that I found to deal with the long periods of work is by passively doing something that I like playing video games for a short period or listening to my power playlist. Some other things that you might run into during the editing process when you're editing for the 2 to 3 hours as stated beforehand, and then... So if you're like me and are the type of person who forgets to save while doing long processes, then you may encounter the infamous crash once or twice per project. This often happens to me when working on the most important of projects, because I guess the universe hates me sometimes. Once I was working on a school project, granted it was outside the realm of gaming, but it still includes the same ideas, and after about 5 hours of editing near midnight, it decided to crash on me, and the footage got corrupted, causing me to have to start the entire video over. So, my philosophy on this was to, instead of wallowing in disappointment for hours and emailing my teacher and saying how it was going oh so terribly wrong, which it was, I stayed resilient and started over, this time attempting to make it even better than it was before. Now, something that I would like people to remember about editing is the fact that editing is supposed to be an enhancement of the film, not the creation of said film. And you'd want to create an experience in which people can still connect with you and your personality. So basically, don't mistake yourself with memes in terms of personality. However, editing can still be used to create a better viewing experience for the audience. Therefore, I implore you to learn it, and as such, watch out for things like... During the editing process, you may often find that a certain song or clip would really touch on the aforementioned enhancement in the video. Therefore, you put in some K-pop, and then you upload the video. This is the YouTube police! No wait, I swear, I didn't know! That's right, copyright. Long story short, copyright is when you take somebody else's work and then proceed to not credit the original creator or don't get their permission when using it in the first place. If you don't pay attention to this, copyright could lead to a lot of unwanted things like lawsuits, fees from the creator, or even takedown of the entire video. Speaking of which, this is a thing that I can relate to, as many a time as a young creator, I often unawarely used music that was under copyright protection and as such got a strike on it. This led to many of my most successful and favorite videos getting deleted in what I like to call the Great Channel Purge. So now, in order to avoid that, I suggest looking up whatever music you're planning to put in the video and check if it's fair use / copyright protection years. Another alternative that I've used to avoid trouble is also to use a thing known as royalty-free music, in which they're under the Creative Commons License 3.0, where you can use them however you please. These would be your Kevin McLeods and, iMovie songs. Personal opinions aside, keep this in mind, as it could prevent you a lot of hassle in the future, like the deletion of your entire channel from one too many of these strikes. Finally, this is the moment of truth. You've recorded the video and have finally finished editing it, checking for things like copyright-free music and then dealing with the multiple problems that come with your select editing software. Now, click that upload button, fill out all of the required sources, and wait for it to publish. And now we wait. So, now that your video is uploaded, it may take a while for anyone to notice you. Chances are, even after a few days or so, if this is your first video, you might not get that many views. Don't let that discourage you. It might be hard to rack up views these days, with the millions of other channels competing for their piece of the metaphorical pie. As long as you're consistent in upload schedules, unlike me, you should be able to at least draw a little attention to yourself. Just keep striking that flint until you start the fire. So finally, let's travel to the hypothetical realm in which you seemingly have a strong, awesome uploaded video, and everything is going great. But then, you look a bit closer. Every now and then, there will be a time where someone dislikes your video, and many people take this in different ways. Some people may be unsurprised and accepting, while other people might be suffering internal depression. When people leave negative comments and don't immediately provide you with great support and feedback, it can be crushing to some people after working on something for a very long time. My philosophy on this is that you should try and figure out why they disliked the video in the first place. Take into consideration what the so-called mean and hateful comment states and see how you can improve upon that. As Bill Gates himself once said, "Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning." And as such, you should try and use the weight of negativity to further your development as a creator. Just something to keep in mind. As you develop in the YouTube space, there are a few more things that I would recommend doing moving forward. Having a consistent upload schedule. It is imperative that you remain at least a little consistent in terms of uploading videos, and it's important to balance it out depending on what you want to do with your channel. For example, if you're a gaming channel, you want to upload quite often, otherwise people might lose interest in your channel and you'll lose momentum. However, if you upload too frequently, then you'll end up in something known as the subscriber burn, which I can only describe as inflation, where videos are uploaded to the extent of each one becoming meaningless. I'm also aware that it may be hard to keep a consistent schedule due to life outside of YouTube, school, work, other activities. This is something that I have to put up with often. For example, this video is a school project that takes up about 75% of my time, which is preventing me from producing anything out to the masses. However, even if you can't upload something often, try to get something out there. Even a small update video will do. In the event that your channel doesn't appear to be going anywhere, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I've had my fair share of failed channels spanning from way back then to now, like my channel known as Just Gamers Bros, which was a simple channel with me and my brother. But after a few videos with our best efforts, we got nowhere. However, if this occurs to you, just remember, it's not the end of the world. The way to deal with this type of defeat may be by starting anew, getting a fresh start, and seeing how you can improve upon the beginning of your next project using the collected data from the past. Overall, despite the fact that many people think that running a gaming channel is the easiest way to make a profit or become popular, there are many factors that discourage the simple start and success of a channel. In any way, shape, or form, I hope that this presentation was of some use for those interested in this topic. And good luck if you actually take any of my advice. See you guys next time.